So it's like oh yeah, we whatever you think it was or whatever, we hadn't even started. We were just doing what we normally do for the first 20 minutes to kick it into gear for the last 10 minutes, and we never even got to that point because of all the claret, all the blood.
They had to stop it because of blood, and then they said, "Okay, we'll put them in a parking lot."
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, this stuff's coming. We'll put these two same fellas that have smashed the life out of each other. We'll put them in a parking lot with a no blood ban, with real cars and real glass, and expect them to, what we're going to go out and start doing, like grabbing each other's wrists and doing rolls and kip ups and cartwheels and stuff. What we're going to do? We're going to smash the hell out of each other because that's what we do. Yeah, right. Right.
And luckily, Bobby and Dave had already gone home, so they couldn't interfere in the match.
Mr. Bischoff, we're in the same podcast company. Please, whatever you remember this, what was going on? What was going through in the booking meeting the week before? What were you all thinking? Please, somebody, I'd love to hear that answer.
He will be asked. I do know that for sure.
I would love to know what they were thinking after having to stop a match because of too much blood and somebody having their eye socket smashed open and the nose broken. What were you thinking? Putting us two lunatics who would go at it in a car park match and expect there not to be any blood.
Yeah, it's not like you two are going to go out there and hold back. They're not like, well, they're going to show restraint. Like
what we're going to do is go out there and start doing like crisscross spots and stuff. Drop downs. We could have done it, like a drop down and a leapfrog and a couple of arm drags or something. What are we going to do? We're going to batter the bejesus out of each other. And that was it. And then still they pulled the cameras off us because there was blood, and yet there's real cars with real glass and real everything, and two fellas who are in a different mindset than a lot of people, even at that time. Not even at that time. There was nobody, but even the fellas from the 80s, they like Arn and all everything. Fellas are mental, they're not going to
guys.
Yeah, they're like, you two are in a different world, right? And again, there's people that like Paul Lazenby and people that were training in Pancras who were like, we all watched it and we watched it over and over then and still watch it. He sends me a message every now and then. He watches it regularly because of the amount of violence in that match. And I've told him the story that he never even started. And these were people who were training to do MMA, and they were questioning what me and him were doing to each other because they were used to watching, and they were used to watching Japanese wrestling from the 90s, and the 80s, which was solid, and they still thought me and him were not, battering each other to death. Which to a degree we were, and to a degree we weren't, and that's when if anybody wants to break this down or take this the wrong way, I'm telling you that we weren't as much as it looked.
Well, I hope not.
That's the difference. That's the difference of how much we worked on our tricks and our close-up magic, and that's what. So, if whatever you think if you watch that, you're not going to see anything that looks anything more than as real as pro wrestling can be, right? And then myths grow out of whatever, but that's the dedication to how much we'd put into and him far better, 1,000 times better than me, put into our craft when we were younger to make that we could do that. Right.
It closes out the episode good to talk about that and just talk about it is the way that you guys were trained, and you guys were trained and came up in a culture that appreciated that, but also two guys that respected the hell out of each other, loved each other's friends, had a lot of experience with each other. And I think it just, if either one of you would have had a different dance partner there, it would have been a different story in both of those matches.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened, would it?
It would not, sir.